So here is a fun fact. Houston is the energy capital of the world. That's right. Right here in H-Town, this is where all the high-dollar oil men live and work. As a matter of fact, I live on the west side, and that area is now referred to as the Energy Corridor. Why, you ask? Because there are a whole lot of big-ass oil business buildings in that area. Marathon just opened a brand new joint in City Center. We've got Conoco, Citgo, British Petroleum. There's a whole bunch of other ones. So if you live in Houston and you work in Houston, your job is probably only a degree or two away from being related to the energy business. I don't think we're allowed to call it oil and gas anymore because people will get kind of rowdy about that. It's a very sensitive topic, I get it. I'm not here to rain on anybody's parade. But today, we are going to explore. Holy shit, that thing is big. We are going to explore the world of oil refinery, and we are going to discuss one of the greatest movies ever made. So I was on Fondren. I made a left onto Westpark Drive and jumped up here on the Westpark Toll Road, and we're going to do the one thing I keep telling you guys not to do, and that is we're going to get on 59. Now, it's only going to be briefly, don't freak out, but you will get to see what it's like to be up on this huge flyover and sit in this ridiculous lane of traffic trying to ensure that nobody cuts me off. So you have Houston, right? But southeast of Houston is where all the oil refineries are. And the name of that town where them refineries be is Pasadena. Not to be confused with Pasadena, California, although they are very similar. So here's kind of how oil works. If you're unfamiliar with it, they've got a lot of lingo, and the first lingo you got to learn is upstream and downstream. Upstream is where they're like looking for the oil, and they're like drilling through the ground to get to the oil, so on and so forth. But downstream is, and this is where Pasadena comes in. Downstream is where the crude oil, the black gold, the Texas tea is taken from its raw format, crude oil, whereas Nate Bargatze says it, oil, and they transform it into things that you and I use on a regular basis, like gasoline and xylene and acetone and all that other weird stuff they put in plastic. All right, so check this out. So we did the loop, and you can see that the lane, if you stay in the lane, exits to Chimney Rock. And that is a fantastic little quick way to get over to Micro Center. Because as soon as you exit here, you make a right, and then you make a left, and you're at Micro Center. But you can also access the West Loop right in front of us. And all we got to do is just get around all of these cars. Not a big deal. So we're gonna take the South Loop around to 225, which is where Pasadena is located, and we're going to go check out the oil refineries, which, I don't know. It may be interesting. It may not. I haven't been there in 15 years. I got no real reason to be in Pasadena, Deer Park, Southeast Houston. So I typically just don't go. But talking about oil and gas is about as exciting as talking about paint drying. So we're going to forego all of that upstream, downstream shit, and we're going to get straight to the heart of the matter. And that is the urban cowboy. That's right. Today I'm going to review the fantastic film titled Urban Cowboy, starring John Travolta, Deborah Winger, and Scott Glenn. But first, let's concentrate here on getting on the loop. So we're going to be on the West Loop South, and then, I was trying to get away from you. And then, as it curves around to the left, we will be on the South Loop, and we will pass by the Astrodome and Reliant Park, I guess that's what they call it, where the Texans play. And then we'll be on our way to Pasadena. Now, once we get through Pasadena, we'll have a little fun. I got a little mission for us to go on. But so let's talk about the Urban Cowboy. So it was released in I think it was 1977 or 1978, and it is credited as being the key influence on a kind of a country western craze that happened in the late 70s and the early 80s. Wrangler jeans and resistol hats and cowboy boots and shitty music. So yeah, tamales and menudo. It's very loud up here, so I apologize if you can't hear me all that well. So, my mom was really big into the whole urban cowboy kicker thing back in the day. And now, it shouldn't be confused with actual cowboy stuff, because it's not actual cowboy stuff. The whole urban cowboy thing was all about dressing up like what you think a cowboy would dress up like. But when you go see the movie, and you must see the movie, I think it's on Prime. If not, it's on Hulu. I don't think it's on Netflix, strangely enough. But yeah, I know a little bit about cowboying. I was kind of into cowboys when I was a kid, and they all look just like a bunch of goofy hicks. And in the movie, they were actually a bunch of goofy hicks. So it worked really well. I wouldn't have personally cast John Travolta in that role because his face does not look East Texas. He does not look like he came from East Texas. And that's probably because he didn't. However, his performance in that movie as Bud Davis was top notch. It was outstanding. Deborah Winger, I don't know. We could have got somebody better. Scott Glenn as Wes Hightower, 2 thumbs up from this cowboy, because I think he really brought all of the movie together, and there was a certain kind of a genuineness to it. So here's the movie, if you're not familiar with it. A young man named Bud, played by John Travolta, lives somewhere in East Texas, right? And he has an uncle, Uncle Bob, who says, hey, why don't you move to Pasadena and come work at the plant, the refinery, with me and make some of that good old oil and gas money. So Bud packs up his belongings that all fit in one teeny tiny little suitcase, and he jumps in his giant Ford pick-em-up and moves to Pasadena, Texas. And he's staying with Uncle Bob and Uncle Bob's wife, Aunt, actually I don't know what her name was. What is that? Is that a Beamer or is that a Hayabusa? That is a Hayabusa. And on his first day, Uncle Bob and Aunt, whatever her name was, say, hey, tonight we should go down to Gillies. All right. Now, you may have never heard of Gillies, and if you haven't, well, I'm very sorry for that, because Gillies was the world's largest honky-tonk, and it was located in Pasadena, Texas. It's not there anymore. I looked it up on Google Maps. It's now a used car lot. However, back in the day, Gillies was a mecca for all things urban cowboy. And so, Bud and Uncle Bob, wait a minute, I don't want to go to Lake Jackson, go to Gillies that night. And it introduces Bud to a whole new world that his teeny tiny little East Texas brain never knew existed. Oh my lord, this road is very bumpy. Because of all the big trucks that drive up here. Oh, it's like super bumpy. Whoa. I want to see what they're doing over here. Nothing. They're just standing around looking at shit. Okay. And we're looking for 225. And it should be taking us east. Alright. So, Bud is drinking his Lone Star beer and just enjoying his introduction to Gillies. And he meets a little filly named Sissy, played by Deborah Winger. Now, Sissy is this scrawny little country girl, kind of a tomboy a little bit, but she is a barfly, let me tell you. And she walks up to Bud, who's standing there at the bar in his really, really bad shirt and his slim cut Wrangler 13 MWZs, and she says to him, "Are you a real cowboy?" And he says something back to her. I'm not going to tell you what he says, but that question leads them into a whirlwind romance. Yes. Bud and Sissy become a thing. And within moments, they are getting married. And where does their wedding take place? You know it. Gillies. With all their Gilly friends. At Gillies. With Mickey Gilly. By the way, Gillies is named after a gentleman by the name of Mickey Gilly. He has since passed away, but he was a country crooner back in the day. And then he eventually, I think he had moved to Branson, Missouri. He was real big in that whole Branson, Missouri scene. See, look at all these trucks. Now, all these trucks, we're going to essentially follow them because all these trucks are going to the Port of Houston, which is right next to Pasadena. Look at the bottom of that guy's car. That Suburban. Woo! Boy, I need something. So, of course, god damn it, Bud and Sissy get married, and the first thing they do, they buy a single wide trailer, because if you live in Pasadena, Texas during the urban cowboy days, that's what you do. All right, so we're still on the South Loop. We are eastbound. We are approaching. I'm trying to see what this sign here says. We're approaching all this slow-moving traffic. I don't know. Well, go faster, people. 45. Don't worry about 45 yet. We're going to talk about that later. So, where were we? Bud, Sissy, married, Gillies, double wide, single wide. So I guess as part of their honeymoon, they decide to drive up to Huntsville, Texas. Now, if you live in Houston or are familiar with Houston, you know that Huntsville, Texas is home to the Huntsville State Penitentiary. There's a big prison up there. And they go up there to see what used to be kind of a fun thing to do until they outlawed it. And that was going to watch the prison rodeo. That's right. Prisoners used to be allowed to participate in rodeos. They had bareback broncs, bull riding, and then they had a couple other kind of like strictly prison style games. One of them being where they all sit around a card table that's set up in the middle of the arena. There's like 5 or 6 guys, and they let a bull out into the arena, and the winner of the game is the one who can sit at that table the longest before they get careened by the bull. All this traffic is getting on 45 south, heading towards Galveston, Texas. We will approach that subject a little later. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can you see that? That's right. We're there. You tell me I forgot about this the entire fucking time? I apologize. Just let him make his lane change. Just let him make his lane change. There you go. See? What else we have out here? We've got the San Jacinto Monument and the Battleship Texas. No, wait. I thought they moved the Battleship Texas to Galveston. I don't know. All right. Pasadena and LaPorte. We want to go east. So, guess we'll get behind this highly dangerous individual. See if I can go around him a little bit. Oh, shit. Right lane must exit. Liar, liar, pants on fire. So, while they're at the rodeo, one of the cowboys in the bull riding is a convict by the name of Wes Hightower. That's right. Played by the incomparable Scott Glenn. All right, so we have made our transition from the South Loop, and we are now on Highway 225, and we are officially in, well, I think it's actually Deer Park, but I'm just going to call it Pasadena. Look at all this. Do you see this right here? This is money right here. Money. it's very, I don't know if it was dark out. It would look like something out of the Terminator. Look at this. That's an energy making station right there. Look at that. I don't know what's in these tanks. I don't know if it's water or if it's crude oil storage. I don't know why they would store that much water. I would imagine this is crude oil. And motherfucker. Wow. Speechless. Look at this. There is a smell out here. I mean, it's not like a bad smell, but it's not like a nice smell. It's just so old and rusty, and this is just crazy. All right, entering Pasadena, Texas. So, Mickey Gilley came up with this idea that if you're going to the biggest honky tonk in the planet, look at this, there's a big old sign, Pasadena. Hi. You need more activities than just two-stepping and drinking shitty beer if you're at a honky tonk. Yeah, you can play darts and all that bullshit, but you know where the real money in honky tonks is? It is in mechanical bull riding. That's right. Now, I think the concept of the mechanical bull was really just, motherfucker, it was really just, it was a joke, right? Because, like, who in their right mind wants to sit on some giant machine and get all their bones broken? But I'm telling you, if you've never ridden a mechanical bull, it is a load of fun. It's a blast. So Mickey Gilley decides to install a mechanical bull inside Gilley's, and Gilley's is big enough where they could have a mechanical bull and still have plenty of room left over. Now, Bud's ridden himself some rank horses before, but he's never ridden a mechanical bull. So, Bud gets up there, he pays his $2, gets up there, and he rides that bull for 8 seconds. He is on top of the world. This guy is hooked. He is now a mechanical bull rider. Now, as you probably saw coming, Wes Hightower gets paroled. Yep, they let him out. That bank robbing son of a bitch. And guess where he goes? He goes to Gilley's. Because he is good buddies with the guy that operates the mechanical bull. And he decides to shine on everybody at Gilley's. He brings his own bull riding glove. He gets up there on the machine. He actually sets the machine to the highest potency that it can output. And he gets up there and he slays it. And of course, Bud is like, uh-oh, I got me some competition. And Sissy, she's like, yo, check out this dude and that fishnet shirt. That's a real cowboy right there. So, Bud, he's working down at the the plant down at the refinery with Uncle Bob. What is this? Do I exit only? I guess we gotta exit only. This is perfect because we're actually going to go drive to where Gillies used to be located and pay our respects. So, of course, Bud and Wes, instant enemies. And that whole thing plays out one night when they're over at the post-bar drunk breakfast. And Bud is drunk and he's mad because he got showed up on the mechanical bull riding machine. And he gets into a little tussle with old Wes Hightower. Of course, Bud, he can't call him Wes or Mr. Hightower. He refers to him as Tattoo because he's got like a tattoo on his arm. And, yep, Bud's temper gets the best of him, and he inadvertently accosts Mr. Hightower, which leads to a very fast drunken brawl in the parking lot, where Bud gets his ass whooped. And of course, he looks bad in front of Sissy, but Wes Hightower's looking real good. So anyway, Bud gets over himself and he goes back to Gillies and he's riding mechanical bull. And of course, Sissy, being Sissy, she wants to ride the mechanical bull. But Bud's like, nope, not happening. It's not for girls. Now, this was the late 70s, early 80s. It was a different day and age. But Sissy is friends with a girl who is shacking up with the mechanical bull rider operator, who of course is friends with Wes. So Sissy leaves work early one day and she goes over to Gillies and starts riding that mechanical bull. And of course Wes is there. You knew he was going to be there. And he gives her some tips and tricks, and the next thing you know it, she's up there just destroying the mechanical bull. We're looking for Spencer Highway, by the way. And of course, they go to Gillies that night, Bud and Sissy, and she's like, come on, Bud, let me show you something. And she gets up on that mechanical bull, and she shows him up. Oh, did Bud get mad? Bud was, he was pissed because she went behind his back, did something he said don't do, and she's at least as good as he is, if not better. And so they end up getting into a fight. Not a fist fight, not a physical fight, but definitely an emotional, combative, tense situation. And of course, what do you do when you're an immature guy and an immature girl and you're from East Texas and you're drunk and you're at Gillies and there's mechanical bulls involved? Well, of course, you go sleep with somebody else. You make your wife jealous. So Bud meets Pam. And Pam is a city girl. And her daddy is in the oil business. So she's rich. So she takes Bud into the city and fucks his brains out. And of course, he's hooked. And she's buying him all kinds of stuff. Meanwhile, Sissy is hooking up with Wes. That's right. You knew it was going to happen. I don't know what's going on. Just traffic. This guy's from Colorado. The house is for lease. I'm looking at these houses. Very close together, but they don't look too bad. I don't know. I mean, do you want to live in Pasadena? Is this a place where you'd want to move? I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure that the demographic here is below middle class. I would imagine that the homes that are built here are not the most well constructed dwellings, but it looks like people are out here taking care of their property. I don't see too many garages. I see a whole lot of carports. I guess I could just turn down one of these streets and show it to you. We're going to turn here on Capland. Let's take a look. That dude owns a boat. All right, maybe this wasn't the best example. All right, so we've got a lot of street parking. That guy's got a metal fence for some reason, but no gate. A lot of Mopar out here. A lot of Mopar. This is Dodge country. Another boat. Everything looks very well kept. It is. There's small houses. United States Army. It's not that bad. Leon, run some specs on 3709 Capland. Let's see what we got out here. All right, here's Bennett Road. I don't know where it goes, but we're going to make a left. There's a car coming. So, I want to back up and kind of give you a little information about Wes Hightower. Wes was in prison for the crime of robbing banks, and we don't take kindly to bank robbing in cattle rustling in Texas. They are hanging offenses, meaning that I'm just kidding. Nobody's gonna fucking hang you, and I don't think people steal cows anymore. Although every once in a while you'll see something on the news about somebody stealing a horse. Like, what? It's like stealing a Ferrari. Like, what are you gonna do with it? You gonna hide it? Like, how do you hide a Ferrari? Like, nobody's gonna notice that you're out there driving a Ferrari. Like, hey, where'd you get the horse? Found it. That's right, I found it. It was just sitting right there, and I took it. Ooh, speed bumps. Ooh. All right, well, I still got oil pressure, so whatever that thing is that went underneath Virgil did not rip anything off. So I'm still looking for, I can't understand this navigation system. North is that way, which I'm well aware of. And so I guess that's Beltway 8, Tollway 8. Big old Mack truck. Got some construction going on down here. Oh, hey. All right, but it doesn't tell me where Spencer Highway is, and I don't even know if Spencer Highway. There it is, right there. Exit 1 mile. Never mind. Now, I'm not a bank robber. I've never been in the bank robbing business. Don't know too much about it. But I do know that bank robbers typically aren't like the nicest of people. It's not a condemnation. It's just kind of an assumption, right? And West was a bank robber, so I can only assume that he's not a nice guy. And it turns out that he wasn't, because he was not only knocking boots with the girl that runs the cash register at Gillies, but he decided to slap the shit out of Sissy because he wouldn't, I don't know, go buy him cigarettes or something. And so she is now a married woman in having an affair with a paroled bank robber who is also a domestic abuser. Now, I don't want anybody to think that that is how everybody in Pasadena behaves, because it's not. But that's how they did it in the movies. And of course, Bud and Pam, they're having a grand old time. She's buying them like cowboy hats and boots and all kinds. She just is lavishing him with all kinds of material possessions. The Portofino Senior Living. That was Red Bluff Boulevard. Spencer Highway should be coming right up. Virgil, can you please tell me where Spencer Highway is? All right, this is Pine Avenue, and there's nothing over here. That Stop and Go is closed, permanently closed. This is I don't know what that is, oil or gas rather, natural gas. All right, so when Mickey Gilley installed the mechanical bull, he also installed this punching bag machine. You've seen it before. You've probably even punched one. But you put in a quarter, pardon me, and you try to hit the punching bag as hard as you can. And of course, they've got pardon me. Hey, Spencer Highway. There is a giant dance floor at Gilley's. It's like an acre in size, something like that. It was ridiculously large. So Mickey Gilley, being the capitalist that he was, decides to have Gilley's first ever indoor rodeo. And there are three contests. There's a dancing contest. Actually, it's a two-stepping contest. There's a punching bag contest. And of course, there's a mechanical bull riding contest. Of course, Bud is like super serious because it's like $5,000 or was it $500? There's a lot of money, prize money at stake. And it turns out that Uncle Bob used to be a professional rodeo cowboy, and he happens to have a mechanical bull at his friend's farm. Really. So Bud starts practicing every day after work. After he's done at the refinery, at the plant, he goes down and with Uncle Bob, and they practice the bull riding. And he's just, he was just like laser intensity focused on winning that $5,000 grand prize. And of course, he needs to show up Mr. Hightower because he's got to get his girl back, because that's just the way stories go. There has to be a happy ending. You can't just die, right? You just can't, everybody goes their separate ways, and 20 years later she's got 4 kids and he's back in prison. No, it doesn't work like that. You've got to have a happy ending. So Sissy is still with Wes at this point, and Bud is still with Pam. But Pam knows that her days are numbered, but she's okay with it. She's enjoying herself, and she got herself a real cowboy, so she's happy. Pam's happy. Wes, he's a whole different story. That guy is he's a fucking psycho. And long story short, Bud wins the bull riding contest. Yes. And Wes, being a bank robbing son of a bitch, decides to steal all of the money that Gillies had collected that night for all the entry fees and all. There was just this big table full of cash, and he takes it all. But Bud, oh, by the way, this is where Gillies used to be, right here at Cars on Demand. We're gonna pull in here and get ourselves a nice little thumbnail. Look at it. It's just a used car lot now. I hope I can get up this hill. Jesus Christ. All right. There's a lot of traffic. What time is it? 10:48. Well, maybe. I don't know. So, Bud realizes that he's madly in love with Sissy, and he goes trying to find her because she splits after Wes loses the bull riding competition. And here we go. Let's get a thumbnail. And we made it. Yes. What kind of car do you like? Would you like a Chevy Malibu? Would you like a Kia Soul? Here's a nice Infiniti. I know you guys like your Infinitis. Look at this. Alrighty. That's a purple truck. No, I'm not buying one of your fucking cars. I'm just turning around. Alright, we're going to take a moment here to position Virgil in a photogenic spot to take a picture with the sign that says Cars on Demand, which is now where Gillies is at. How about right here? All right, stand by, ladies and gentlemen, while I take a thumbnail. I'll be right back. Hope I can get out. Yeah. Testing, mic check, 1, 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Gillies. All right, so Wes is heading out the door with his big bag of loot, but he is thwarted. Yes, thwarted by Bud, and Bud ends up beating the shit out of Wes. And Wes gets caught. Bud saves the day. He and Sissy get back together. Bada bing, bada boom. Nook and Panub. Charlie Daniels, sing it. I don't know. I don't know if you can play Charlie Daniels on YouTube. So, let's examine. Oh, by the way, that's the end of the movie. They move back into the single wide trailer, and Bud goes back to the plant, the refinery, and then that's that. It's the end of the movie. So let's examine the Urban Cowboy, not so much as a movie, but as kind of a time capsule. Gillies is gone, right? I think it was probably for the best. My recollection of Gillies was that it was like a shitty shack that they just kept like adding on to, and it was pretty bad, But it was a staple of that early 80s. The music, and I'm not just talking about like Charlie Daniels, but like the Gatlin Brothers, Eddie Rabbitt, Merle Haggard, all of that. Urban Cowboy, those ridiculous long sleeve shirts with the pearl snap buttons and the long collars and the goofy yoke thing. Like, give me a break. Cowboys don't wear that shit, right? They just don't. But it wasn't about being a cowboy. It was all about trying to fit in to a, come on, you can take whichever one you want. God bless you. Oh, you're going all the way across. All right, we are back to Tollway 8, which we're going to take south to 45. All right, so we're talking about Urban Cowboy. Focus. All right, here we go. Looking back at that movie in 2025, it is so hilarious. The clothes, the accents, everybody sounds like they're from East Texas, but you're not from East Texas. You're fucking John Travolta. Mechanical bull riding is still a thing. Now, I don't know if it was ever like, I don't know if there was ever like a mechanical bull riding league, something on par with like National Football or, you know, Major League Baseball. I don't think there was. And you still see them from time to time. It's kind of a novelty. A little bit about me: when I was in high school, my sport was bull riding. So I have some experience with the mechanical bull, and it's a novelty, right? It doesn't teach bull riding at all. You can learn how to ride a mechanical bull, but it doesn't translate to riding a real bull. Every year in Houston, and it's coming up, we have a massive rodeo here in Houston. It's called the Houston Rodeo and Livestock Show. Actually, it's the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, but pardon me. It's like 3 weeks of just non-stop urban cowboy battiness. The local news people all go to the boot barn and get some shitty hat that they're half the time they're wearing it backwards, and then really, really, really pointy cowboy boots. Not cowboys. All right, what do we got here? So Ellington Field, which is a giant military air base, is it's in front of us somewhere. It's on the other side of those big domed structures. I don't know what those big dome structures are. It looks like a school. 80 degrees? Mine says 78. Career and technical something. So at the end of February, the beginning of March, get out your Western wear, and on that first Friday is Go Texan Day. That's where everybody goes to work wearing their brand new cowboy boots and some silly hat and a Western style shirt. Hey, if that's your thing, go for it. Not my thing. But Urban Cowboy has a huge influence even today in how people perceive Pasadena and how people perceive the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. It's more livestock show than rodeo, and it's actually more big name concerts after the rodeo than it is livestock show. And everybody makes a big deal about who is having a concert during the Houston Rodeo. You have your staples, things like George Strait, Reba McEntire, you know, your typical country people, Brooks and Dunn, like every year, like on clockwork. Then they have like Black Heritage Day, Hispanic Heritage Day, and then there's always one or two concerts that are like one year was Cardi B. Like, what? Inside the rodeo, Cardi B at a concert with cows and the smell of shit. Silly. It's just silly. But there's a huge trail ride that comes into town. That's the start of rodeo season, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And ooh, how did that get all the way up here? It's really one of the worst rodeos to go to because you're sitting about 1,000,000 miles away from the actual bull riding. Oh, look, you can see downtown from up here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now transitioning to our second adventure of the day. Urban Cowboy Pasadena is done. We are now going to be introduced to the Gulf Freeway, known as 45. Yes, indeed. So we are now on Interstate 45. It runs from Galveston, Texas, straight through Houston up to Dallas. And today we're just gonna drive on it, and we'll probably see death and dismemberment. Probably. But we're gonna get some excellent views of downtown Houston because we're gonna drive right up the middle. So watch the Urban Cowboy when you get a chance, and put your thoughts in the comments. Like, it was a good movie, it was a bad movie, it's a fun movie. Don't go into it thinking that you're gonna. I mean, it's not like Schindler's List. It's not gonna change your perspective on a very important, critical piece of history. But it is kind of a documentary of just an era, a quick era, when that Urban Cowboy stuff was the craze. Oh my Lord, this road is very hilly. Ooh, there's an airplane taking off. Why? Because there's an airport over here. Yes. Hobby Airport is over here. That is the second airport in Houston. It's pretty much just all Southwest Airlines flights. We'll go there someday, but it's really not that exciting. So, let's say you want to go see water, the Gulf of Mexico. What you do is you get on 45 and you head south. And when it ends, you'll be there. Right. That's how 45 works. And if you want to go to Dallas or Huntsville, Conroe, what's that little town right before you get to Dallas? Starts with an E. But yeah, you can drive all the way up to Dallas. Just straight shot. Very boring. There's real no excitement to it. But if you want to go to Dallas, that's how you get there. I mean, you could take Highway 6 and go to Fort Worth and then cut over from Fort Worth back over to Dallas. But 45, just a straight shot. It's like a 4.5 hour drive from, I would say, like the center of Houston. So, I mean, it's not a horrible drive. It's just fucking boring. There may be a Buc-ee's now. I don't know. But, I mean, that would probably be the only excitement that you could run across. Maybe you'll see like a Texas State Patrol officer sitting on the side of the road, or maybe you'll see a coyote. I don't know. So we're heading north, and we're between Beltway 8 and the South Loop. We'll be seeing the South Loop here pretty soon. Once we go past the South Loop, we're still going to be heading north and towards downtown, and we will be passing by University of Houston, which will be on the left. What's the other? Is it St. Thomas? There's another university on the right. I don't recall the name of it. And then we'll be into downtown. And downtown it's a really interesting route through downtown because it's not a straight shot. It's kind of like a kind of a S-shaped path. But it's, if you want to see downtown, you want to see traffic, here you go. My friend Doug lives south of here in a city called League City, and he drives all the way into Houston every day, through Houston all the way up into the North Loop where it meets 290 every day. It's psychotic. This side of town, this is South Houston. Actually, it's a city called South Houston, and not the most well-kept area of town. I'll tell you what you will find out here. It is a ridiculous number of topless clubs. Yeah, strip clubs, gentlemen's clubs, titty bars, whatever you like to call them. There's a lot of them on 45, and I mean a lot of them. And I don't know, I'm thinking they're pretty skanky. All right, you want to be like that? So if you're into that kind of action, 45, just drive 45 and find the one that appeals the most to you. All right, so here we are approaching the South Loop. So we've already crossed over this. Here's the ramp to head back over to 225. Ta-da. Let's see, what other interesting things happen in South Houston? Let's see. 45 is very well known for traffic. There's really no reason to be out here. But all right, so I've got this idea, and that's kind of why I'm taking this route today. Here's my idea. Imagine, close your eyes, and imagine a race, a car race through Houston that's only on all of the major freeways in town. It's been a dream of mine for a long time. I'm not talking Formula One here or NASCAR. I'm just talking bring your car and it's top secret, nobody knows, and we do it, we're doing it now. And there's going to be a set route, and it will involve 45, the loop, 10, 59. We may come out to 225. There's an interesting that exit off of 45 northbound, which is what we're on now, over to 225 east, which we had been on. It's a very interesting little circle there, and if you can plot it out right, it would be really fun to drive really fast through that area. And there's a few places in Houston that are like that. There's another one that runs through the Memorial Villages, and it just kind of like, it's these really sharp 90-degree corners, and the speed limit's like 35. It's all residential, but man, 60, you can. I mean, it's just fun to jam through there. So I've been thinking about this huge race. Top secret. Nobody's gonna know about it except the few people that are in on it. But think about that. Think about like a city-sized race. Winner takes all. Think about it. All right, so as we're approaching downtown, 45 will intersect with 59 and this other highway called 288. Now 288 is pretty small. It starts pretty much where here, and it goes south towards Lake Jackson and on to, does it go to Surfside? But it heads towards that part of the coast, the Gulf Coast. So going through here is all about looking at the signs and being in the correct lane. Because if you're over there and you get on the 59 and you think you're supposed to be on 45, you're going to be very confused. I don't know if we'll be able to see too much of it. So that's over here, that's the 59. Head towards 59, then up over here towards the right, on the other side of these trees, go figure, is, yeah, you can kind of see it. Yeah, and it is kind of like all these like branches, forks in the road. It's pretty nuts. All right, so we are, you can see downtown, and we need to stay in the left two lanes. I didn't see any signage for University of Houston or that other college that's on the other side. So I'll have to look it up. I don't know. Triumph Motorcycles. Oh, who is this? Oklahoma. Okay, so just to let you know, Oklahoma can kiss my ass. As a matter of fact, if I were the governor of the planet, I would take a pair of scissors and I would cut out Dallas and I would give it to Oklahoma and tell all those people to fuck off. I don't like Oklahoma. Well, if this big truck wasn't here, you could see all the cars on this ramp to our right are heading towards the fork. 288 59 South goes this way, so it's that ramp that's coming over the freeway, and then of course, I don't know if you can see the sign, but the northbound says right lane, so it's going that way. North. Right now that's north right there, according to the nav. That's north. So there's Pease Street, and then so you've got the that's an exit into downtown, and what we're going to do is we're going to get on the Pierce Elevated. So we're essentially going to go from ground level where we're at now. We're going to go up in the air and essentially just drive right around the southwest side of downtown. Southwest side of downtown. So we're going to go south, and then it goes this way, then it kind of snakes back, and then you can either continue on 45 north, or you can go get onto I-10 east or west, and we will get onto I-10 west. I don't know why there's traffic. I'm assuming there's, this is a typical, it's almost lunchtime, it's Friday, got the Super Bowl this weekend. I hope they both lose, and I'm gonna try to change lanes here once this blue car goes. Oh shit, the Ram took it. You sons of bitch Rams. This guy wants to merge. Come on. Do not mention the merger. Okay, once this black Hyundai goes. Alright. So we're going to see the southwest section of downtown. So we will see One Allen Center. We will see is that the backside of the city town hall? We will see Tillman Fertitta's aquarium restaurants. And other than that, you really just have to kind of focus on the road. This isn't really a scenic drive, although to our right is George R. Brown, so you can 59 is right underneath us. Anyway. So most of this area down here, there's Toyota Center, is being gentrified. Now, why would anybody want to live right there? I don't know. I don't understand the concept of let me wake up every morning and look out my window and see this. All right, so this traffic here is probably merging from 288. That's my guess. There's a women's hospital over here. No, St. Joseph's Hospital. That's right there. We are now on the Pierce Elevated. That guy picked a really bad place to break down. So there's the old Enron buildings. I don't know what they're doing with this. It's 2016 Main. I don't know if they're going to tear it down. I don't know if they're going to update. I don't know what they're going to do. The BMW dealership that was down there closed because the bus station is right over there, and that place was scary. But they have closed the bus station. All right, here we go. 45 northbound through downtown Houston. A lot of cars. Look at the other side of the freeway. I mean, it's not like packed, but there's traffic. And this, it is what it is. So there's a left exit onto Allen Parkway. I didn't see where that goes, but it probably goes down to like, I think it said Allen Parkway. That building in front of us is the Houston Police Station. That's why they have that giant tower there. That's their main communications tower. And the left two lanes, pardon me, my other right, go to I-10 West San Antonio. There is Tillman Fertitta's Ferris wheel at the aquarium. I don't know what that guy's thing is with Ferris wheels. Every time Tillman Fertitta builds something, he sticks a Ferris wheel in it. And I don't like that motherfucker either, so. We really need to get cockpit cam up and running because you can see the Bank of America building, you can see the Alley Theater, you can see the old HLP building. There's really nothing over here to look at. And of course, sitting here at a standstill is super freaking dangerous. And I'm in this lane specifically because it's exit only. There's less likelihood of one of these idiots coming over here and smashing into me because I'm already in this lane. There's no other lanes to go into. So, well, look at this. The billboard up here on top of this old building says, "Round Up, Great Taste. Miller Lite, sponsor of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo." There you have, oh, there's construction. They're closing. Oh, that's right, I heard about this. So they are closing the exit. I think it's the westbound side of I-10. They're closing the exit that lets you get onto Sawyer. It's Sawyer that way and Taylor the other way. No, they're two different streets. It's Sawyer, and then on the other side it becomes, what's it called? Tangle? I don't remember. Traffic. What can you do? What can you do? The University of Houston I think that's the University of Houston. I don't know. They have like plants on their roof. That's interesting. Very interesting. What is in this area? So to our left is the 6th Ward. The 5th Ward is kind of that way-ish. So we're like north. So over there. No, there's the University of Houston over there. University of Houston downtown. And then, of course, Edo, East Downtown, is just east of us. So most of this area has spent the past 30, 40, 50 years just slowly disintegrating. And it's a socio-economic issue. And nobody wants to call it for what it is. Everybody wants to use like doublespeak. But here's the thing. If you're black or brown and you live down here, they don't want you down here anymore because this stuff is cheap and they want to move you out so that they can move in and build like those 3- and 4-story townhomes. And if you drive anywhere down Washington Avenue, the 6th Ward, and you'll see that places that were once just like crack houses and just abandoned places are being bulldozed, and they're putting multifamily buildings on that piece of land. And the city of Houston is like all for it because taxes are going to go straight up through the roof soon enough. I'm looking in my side view mirror to make sure that there's like not some crazy person trying to get over here. That lane immediately to our right will get you on I-10, but it can also put you on 45 northbound. I want to go on 45 northbound. And I'm not a douchebag, so I'm not going to drive to the front of the line and cut over. I don't play that game. I'll just sit here and wait. I got nothing to do. So let's zoom out one more. Not helpful in the least. All right, so there is a billboard for the rodeo, March 4 through March 23rd. Yeah, it's usually that last week of February. So here's the rodeo thing. It starts on a Saturday, and it's kicked off by a parade through downtown. It's down on Smith Street. And the people in the parade are known as trail riders. And these people actually spend is it a week or is it 2 weeks on a good old-fashioned trail ride from way outside of Houston. I guess it's I-10, maybe 290. I don't know the actual route. There's a few different trail rides, but they all converge and they all go to Memorial Park, which is just inside the West Loop on the other side of the Galleria. And yeah, they've got one lane. We're going down to one lane. That's why there's so much traffic. And you should see I-10. Look at that. It's nuts to butts. That's ridiculous. So, so the trail ride, I think it's a week. It could be 2 weeks. And you'll know about it because it'll be all over the local news. And, you know, like I said, some guy who just moved here from like Virginia or Kansas who got a job at Channel 2 is out there on the trail ride trying to get the gumption up to get on a horse. It's a horse, dude. Get up there. And so what they do is the trail riders come in and they all meet at Memorial Park, and they're all there by Friday. They come into Houston on Friday, and the city shuts down. The roads are all closed off because they don't want you running over a horse or a chuck wagon or whatever else that's going on with the trail riders. So they all get here by Friday. Saturday morning, the parade through downtown, and then after that, it's 2 weeks Lambo. 4th through the 23rd, that sounds like 3 weeks of just non-stop rodeo shit. Like I said, it's not a good rodeo to begin with, and you sit so far away from it, you almost have to take like binoculars or something with you to actually see what's going on. And then there is also a livestock show. So if you're familiar with 4-H, you can go to the livestock show, and it's massive. I think that if I don't think that the livestock show itself gets the credit it deserves, but it's huge, mega huge. Lane ends, merge left. All right, I've merged. I will merge again. He's from Utah, or at least the trailer is. So this is where the Taylor/Sawyer Street exit is. It's like right there, and they're closing it, and not for like a week or a month, but for like 2 years. And the reason is that directly in front of us and underneath us is Buffalo Bayou. And no, I take it back. It's White Oak Bayou, and that thing floods. Oh my Lord! The amount of water that accumulates right in front of us and down there is it's you can't even describe it. It is huge, and I guess they're going to do something to make to mitigate the flood risk, because if you're going to get all these rich white folk to come gentrify your neighborhoods, you can't have them flooding. I'm trying to stay in this guy's out of his blind spot. I'm right over here, dude. Freightliner, Cascadia cab. Right now I'm getting in front of him. So, that guy's from California. Welcome to Houston. So, that's what they're doing here. And then so on the right side of I-10 is the Heights, right? Money, big money, yuppie money. And then, of course, to our left is 6th Ward. So Taylor Street is closed. I guess you can exit for Heights Boulevard. So if you want to get on Taylor, you got to go up to Heights, U-turn. All right, so yeah, it's Taylor over there and Studemont over there, not Stewwood. And then you got the Heights, the 6th Ward, and then down there, when I'll crash into this vehicle, is it's a huge park. That you can't see any of it, but it just fills with water. I mean, it's like a lake, massive. And look at all this. This is all new or being torn down to be replaced with new stuff. It's kind of a shame that a lot of older parts of Houston are just being, just destroyed, flattened. And all it's doing is making more room for people. And there's no need for more people in this town because we've already got enough. So that's my take on it. And do with it what you want. All right, so we are on I-10. We are westbound. This should look familiar to you because we have been up here many times. And that's pretty much all I got. So, it is Super Bowl weekend. And if you're not into football, find Urban Cowboy, watch it, and give me your thoughts. I think it's a fun movie. I give it like on a 5-star rating scale. I'd give it like a 3.5. It's a lot of fun. it's interesting to see John Travolta dressed up like a hick. You wouldn't think that would be a John Travolta role, but it is. And like I said, I would not have cast him based upon his mugshot, but he knocked it out of the park in that one. Scott Glenn really brought it all together. I can do without Deborah Winger. I didn't really find her performance to be really all that noteworthy. And if you like old kicker music, you'll love it. Charlie Daniels, Mickey Gilley, mechanical bull riding. Give it a go. Give it a shot. See what you think. And I hope you have enjoyed today's little adventure. I have spent more time trying to figure out like how to show Pasadena, because I don't want Pasadena to come off as like just a stinky town full of old oil refineries. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot of people there, and they all have a story. And like this guy in a Tesla, he is just driving really slow. I don't know why. But there you have it. Enjoy your weekend. I hope both teams lose in the Super Bowl. That's what I'm betting my money on. And that's all I got. So until next time. And next time, we're heading the other direction. We're going to go southwest. We're going to go look at alligators. That's right. We have alligators in Houston, and they are wild alligators. They just do whatever they want, and there ain't nothing you can do to stop them because they're alligators. Until then, be kind. I just killed a bug. Nope, 2 bugs. And I thank you for watching. Goodbye. Yes, I know. I-10's got the weird grooves in it. I know, it's weird, but it's fun too.